Well, hello everyone. I'm Matthew Hulbert and I was recently selected to be one of the 3 Liberal Democrat Borough Council candidates here in the wonderful village of Barwell here in Leicestershire for the Hinckley and Bosworth Borough Council elections taking place on May the 5th next year. I just wanted to do a video really introducing myself and talking a little bit about why I'd like to represent you as your Borough Councillor to work for the benefit of all the people in Barwell. I was born and raised here. It's where I still live. I've lived here my whole life, 30 years, apart from a few years where I went to uni in Nottingham. I love Barwell. It's a great village with great, hard-working, fun-loving, very humorous people. And basically, I would like to, with your votes, represent Barwell because over the past few years, as many of you will know, we've had some rather unfortunate events happen here, and then we've seen sensationalistic media headlines from the London-based media, many of which have been unfair to the people of Barwell and unfair in terms of misrepresenting what it's like to live here. Barwell, just like anywhere else, you have people who perhaps don't always abide by the law, a very small minority, and of course they have to be dealt with in the usual way by the police and the criminal justice system. But the overwhelming majority of people who live and who work and who play here in Barwell are peaceful, are law-abiding, are decent, and that's a message that I want to try and get across in this campaign. I'm hoping that many people will become involved in the campaign, whether or not they're members of the Liberal Democrats. If they want someone who's going to work for them, who's going to represent their views, who's going to battle for more funding, more investment here in Barwell, to get more facilities. We've got the wonderful George Ward Centre from the money of our former Liberal MP and benefactor George Ward. We've got a number of other facilities here in Barwell, but we do need more internal investment. We need to bring more businesses to Barwell, and I'm working with the Barwell Business Association to try and make that happen. We have a number of local companies represented on that body, and they're coming up with fantastic ideas about how to promote the village and get more inward investment here, and I will work with them to do that, whether or not I'm elected. But obviously if you're a borough councillor, you have more influence in local decision making. So what I really want to say to you today is that I come from here, this is where I live, it's where I work, it's where I enjoy much of my social time, and so, you know, I'm a local person standing to be a local borough councillor. Now, it's right also in this video that I address the issue that obviously we're in a situation where at the moment the Liberal Democrats are in government. I'm very proud that for the first time in my lifetime, Liberal Democrats are government ministers and secretaries of state and making decisions that affect all of our lives. But I know as well that some of the decisions they're having to take, because we're in a coalition and because that means compromise, aren't popular with everyone. I know that, for example, the tuition fees issue has been one that has caused many people great concern, especially, of course, our students. And it's right that they fight for their futures. Now, I'm against the raising of tuition fees. I'm against tuition fees full stop. And I'm urging Liberal Democrat members of Parliament to vote against it, or if they feel they really can't do that because they're government ministers, at least to abstain. But what I would say, to be fair to our government ministers, is that Liberal Democrats didn't win the election. If we would have had a majority, we could have put all of our manifesto into action, but we didn't have a majority, and we formed a coalition in the national interest, we certainly believe, with the Conservatives. And that means that we were able to get about 65% of our manifesto commitments through, but not 100%. And so I just ask people to understand the fact that we're in a difficult economic situation, and sadly that means difficult decisions, including cuts to services that otherwise we Liberal Democrats would want to be investing in as much as we could. But the fact is we can't at the moment. We need to get the country sorted out, and then hopefully we'll be able to invest down the line. But I also would ask my potential voters to remember that next year's election on the May the 5th for the Borough Council here in Hinckley and Bosworth is a local election. It's not a referendum on what Liberal Democrats are doing nationally. It's about what we're doing here in Hinckley and Bosworth. Investing in local schools, in local services such as bin collections, in leisure services such as the leisure centre in Hinckley, and more funding right here in Barwell. And so I'm here for you to come and contact. I live in the village, I work in the village. You can email me, matthew@barwell.eu. Just remember it's one T in Matthew, otherwise it won't get to me. You're more than welcome to come and visit me at my house or at local surgeries that I'll be holding. I'm here and I wish to be your representative, so I'd urge you to please vote for me on May the 5th, 2011.